Watch 100 videos and you'll get 100 opinions on what causes death wobble. Our Gladiator survived the Alpine Loop in Colorado, but a New Mexico pothole nearly took it out. I thought our rig was immune to death wobble, but after filling up on DEF here at Love's Truck Stop, I hit a 7.0 on the Richter scale death wobble when leaving and getting onto I-10 East. I thought these Mickey Thompsons made us immune to death wobble, but I didn't account for OEM ball joints. They use plastic seats, great for mall crawlers, but not Jeeps doing real Jeep things. We tried the dry steering test and did road force balancing twice. Here's a pro tip. Road force balancing is the best you can get, but it's not a cure for worn parts. This all happened after our first tire rotation. One off-balance tire can trigger a cascade of failures. You shouldn't just whip out the credit card and start guessing, but I took the nuclear option. I maxed out the credit card on MetalCloak, Dynatrac, and Steer Smarts. Given the reputation MetalCloak has for quality, they are a very competitive price, made in the USA, and have a team of experts just a phone call away. Let's look at the foundation of this front end upgrade. I'm starting with Dynatrac ProSteers ball joints, which replace the plastic line joints with high strength steel. And they're also rebuildable on the vehicle and greasable. Then I have MetalCloak Dynatrac track bars for the front and the back. These bushings act like vibration dampeners for the whole axle. As a retired sheet metal worker, I can tell you these MetalCloak parts, the drag link and the tie rods, are heavy duty quality parts. These solid steel bars won't flex like the hollow factory springy bars. And these tie rod ends are beefy and greasable. I think it's cool the way they got the M on there for MetalCloak. And here's a pro tip I got from the guys at MetalCloak. If you have a Mopar lift kit, you probably know you got longer, lower control arms, but the kit did not include upper control arms. They recommended I add adjustable upper control arms to help get the suspension geometry completely dialed in. And while I'm at it, I figured why not? I'll just add this Steer Smarts sector shaft brace. It looks like a good idea. It's a pretty well-made part, looks like. I don't know how much wobble there is in that iron steering box, but I'm going to give this a shot and throw this on. It's not that much more work while you have everything apart. To do this right, I had to add some heavy metal to the arsenal. This 42mm and 36mm Intimidator sockets and this gear wrench separator are essential. No pickle forks are allowed in this shop or beaten on tie rod ends. We're doing this with precision. I spent years crawling under rigs and driveways just to get to work the next day, but now I've got this studio garage. I had to move some bicycles around and I organized my parts on this table. I still have to leave some room for my wife to park her Kia Sportage here, but I'm making it work. I'm a little nervous about pulling the axles for the first time, but I'm used to new challenges and getting the job done. This is just video 1. Follow along as I turn this shaking mess back into a confident adventure rig. Subscribe to see all the installs. And remember, on Muddy Ruttzz, the best is yet to come.